Hit the button. Hope it works. You never know. Until you go live. Greetings, humans. Greetings. And welcome back to another fun-filled episode. The Bear here, 29-year veteran of, well, it was the woods, and now Bear is actually back in the cave. Yes, indeed. Hopefully, let me test here. Test. It's not too echoey. I hope it's not too echoey for you great people out there. I'm still trying to get set up. Literally just moved everything. What was that? Right after we got done with the show the other night. So literally just got all the equipment into the cave. Hopefully everything is up in order and working great out there. So good to see everyone here. Great to have everyone here. Let's go ahead just jump straight on into it here. We've got some great campaign updates. So let's go ahead and get right on into it here for you great people. Find out where it is here. Oh, and finally, I finally got the internet to work. I got a stable internet connection after all. Finally. No more stealing the neighbor's Wi-Fi out there. At least for the time being. For the short time being out there. Yes, indeed. All right, let's go ahead. We've got some couple campaign updates. Mr. G Ship mentioned you, and he did. Why does it always say it's mentioning me? Hold on one second. I apologize, people. I tell you what. Right when you get started on your show here, you get an email from Gary Shipman out there. What does he have to say? Oh, it's just the Discord thing. Why do they keep doing that? It's like he doesn't ever. I think it's probably everybody or something like that. I don't know. I don't really pay too much attention to the Discord out there. All right, let me get rid of that and go back for you good people out there because we actually got a campaign update here from the great Mike Miller out there. Only 6 days left, people. Only. Well, actually, let's see. This was the 24th. So 4. Oh, Quattro days left. Of the Shadow of the Conqueror. He says it breaks 370k. Actually, I've got another one here. Over 400k. Holy cow. And only 4 days left in the campaign. SOTC, as the hip cool kids call them. Is still in the number 9 best-selling crowdfunding graphic novel in Indigo history, and tracking to possibly get as high as top 6. God willing, the one true bear god out there, top 5. We still have not gotten word back from the printer if it will be possible to extend the campaign. So as it stands, they only have 4 days left on the clock right now. Right now. Marco for Anthony is giving up his expectations for a professional stream. Not really, like I said, just got back into the. Let me double check. Check. That's not too echoey. I haven't put up any of the sound deadening stuff here, so. Once again, you get a little bit of an echo in the cave here. Yes, indeed. We'll get through it. Hopefully, a solid internet connection here. Let's see. Where was Bear? I tell you what, I'm always getting turned around here. Side note, he says, Shad came by the newly revamped and relaunched drawn, just kind of like, oh yeah, okay, here's drawing recorded, and showed off his drawing skills this week. Check it out, you can check it out there, and make sure you're subscribed, people, to Mike's channel. What does Mike talk to? Why does Mike talk to himself in the third person out there? Beer really has a hard time with that. We have gotten word that our printer can handle. Oh, it can handle. Oh, very cool. The trading cards in house. So we're rushed to get the artwork done. Some of which was drawn on the drawn and quartered there. Let's see. I know Kevin had some stuff. Let's see. Matt Clausen. Of course, Mike out there. Let's see. I think Shad did some stuff there. There was another fellow in there as well. I forget who it was, but so I don't know how many cards they're going. He says cards, so I'm assuming more than one, but we'll see. Mike in the third person is done with the first draft of the second volume graphic novel, and Shad is in the process of editing it. Huh? Wait, hold on. Shouldn't Shad be writing it? What's the deal here? Shouldn't Shad be writing his own novel there? I don't know. I guess graphic novel there. Mike might have a little bit more knowledge on the writing of a graphic novel there. A drawing will commence precipitously, people. Yes, indeed. That's a new word on there. I think that means very quickly. Plus, you know the incredible leather-bound novel options. Just check out the campaign if you haven't yet, or better yet, go check out Beer's review, campaign review. That video is actually doing pretty well, actually. Kind of did it on a lark, but there you go. Pretty cool. This campaign will not go into in demand. So you only have, in Bear's parlance here, 4 days left. So don't wait. Click there now. What else can you do? Share the articles. Yada yada yada. We're trying here, Mike. We're definitely trying here. Yes, indeed. All right, he's got another one here real quick. I got to bring it up here, but he said a day later, over 400K. Shad put up one update video this morning, and boo, yeah, he says. Oh, we're moving like lightning. Well, go Bolts out there, of course. I hope they beat the Ducks. Tell you what, last night the Kings, they're staying up late watching that game, and I just went downhill. Anyways, Beer is talking sports ball out here. We're currently having the third best day of the entire campaign, and there's still only 7 hours left in the day. Well, that was yesterday. Who knows how high we'll get today, but we want to thank every single supporter for helping us out and reaching those incredible heights. So there you go. You can go check that out. There's going to be a live thank you stream coming up this week, so keep an eye out on Shad's Night's Watch. K-N-I-G-H-T-S. Watch channel here, and you can well, you can't see that, but go check it out and subscribe for the update if you're not already. Well, there's not, but there you go. There you go. Echo and Narcissus, that's a great story. Yes, indeed. The only DNQ in 50 years. Yes, that's true. Let's see. He needs to write Kevin, that's Marco Anthony here, and Cawson. I need to write Kevin and Cawson. Well, you do that. You do that. Puck, if it's... where the heck is P Money? Need to talk Canadian hockey up here. Yes, indeed. Where the heck is that guy? I tell you what, probably got snowed in or something like that. Anyways, moving briskly. Oh, I should have done the artwork here. I forgot all about that. Yeah, for crying out loud. I was also going to do for the what do you call that? What am I trying to say here? The title screen here. I meant to put up Quato from what was that? Total Recall all those years ago. What was he? Open your mind. Open your mind. That might go over the heads of some people, but there you go. All right, let's get right back into it because people, we actually have an update here from the great, the intimidable out there, talking about Aaron Lopresti and the Blood Hunters. That goes into In Demand. Yes, indeed. Great to see Amy here. Haven't seen him in 80 years. Well, that's too bad. That's too bad. I think human years are a little bit shorter than bear years, apparently. Maple syrup finally got to him. Good to see recently wrenched Amy out here. Good deal. Let's see. Blood Hunters goes into In Demand. Let me move some of this stuff so I can see it. There we go. That would help. Finally got the second screen here. I tell you what. It's all so much better with this second screen. Hey everyone. Hey Aaron. The live portion of the campaign is officially over, but that doesn't mean you can't still order because we're now officially in demand. In demand? In demand. In demand. So the campaign stays open, but I'll begin to ramp down a bit on the promotion so you can spend more time working on the book. That's a good idea. Right now I'm working on page 10 and 11. And let's see, which page was this one? This one was page 9. I had it as page 4 for some reason. Here's a sneak peek at page 9 to give you a hint at the action to come. He actually did this on his channel the other night, so it's good to see that he finished it up there. Pretty cool. Let's see. Thank you all for backing and supporting this exciting comic, including Bear out here. It's beer approved, yes indeed. So very cool. I like the like some of the action here. Again, Bear kind of described it as kind of a kind of a dark man, if he was in kind of the Old West kind of deal. So let's see. The Wraith is kind of a, how would you describe it? I don't know if he actually has superpowers or it's just powers delivered from the Almighty out there, but there you go. But he's kind of a master of disguise out there, which was, it took Bear a minute. He was actually scanning this stuff in, trying to do the review whenever that comes out. But doing that, so, and I'm like, who's this character? Why is he there? Oh, that's the Wraith. He's in costume there. Oh, very cool. It took him a minute there. Yes, indeed. The other wrenches here, that would be Melissa. The great Melissa sisters out here. The Lester sisters out here. I tell you what, one of these days, people, we will do a professional show. Listening through the car, Marco for Anthony says, going to lurk for a little bit. Well, at least we've got our great wrenches here. As Amy says here, drive safe. Yes, indeed. All right, we're... tell you what, people, one of these days, professional show and all that. And finally, people, we got a update from the Pie Man himself. That's right, we're talking about Uncle E, my backers, my friends, Romans, a countryman out there. Do we still do the Roman, the hail stuff? I don't know if they still do the hail stuff. I see some people doing that. I don't know, whatever. We expect proofs this week. There's a lot of time needed for laminating the covers and bindery. But the current estimated completion date is November the 23rd. So a little over a month, well, a little less than a month away there. So we'll have them in our warehouse around shortly thereafter, he says, from Uncle E. So hopefully, I know he does really good on some of the other what was the one that Beer got? The coloring book. I know he's had some other campaigns out there, but I remember the coloring book. Got that one. That was pretty good. That came actually in first class, so got here pretty quickly. I don't know how many thousands of books he has though, so hopefully, people, we might be able to get a CyberFrog II before Christmas out there, or before Hanukkah, or Kwanzaa out there if you celebrate Kwanzaa out there. So hopefully that will be able to get in tucked under the Christmas tree there, or the Festivus pole, whichever. Hopefully in time for the great holidays out there. So there you go. There's your update there from Uncle E. Yes, indeed. Bindery is probably a word. It might be. It might be. Let's see if we. I don't know if it'll link it up here. Look it up here or not. Let's see if it'll do it. Let's see. Look up bindery. A workshop or factory in which books are bound. Well, there you go. That is your answer, people. There you go. You learned a new word from Bear today. Yes, indeed. There we go. All right, let me get back to it here. Let me get back to it because we've actually got some interesting news here today. So there we go. Let's see. We missed this if you never did a professional show. One of these days. It won't be today. It won't be today at all. No, it won't. All right, where am I? Let me get out of this. Do the thing with the thing. And then the thing. And maybe I can move this. One second, people. Talk amongst your shells. Talk amongst your shells out there. There we go. That'll work. I can see. I tell you what, people. 2 screens. That helps so much. All right, where is... Oh, I had this the other day. Everybody was talking about food, and I neglected to mention kind of an interesting thing here. Let's see if I can bring it up here. Let's see. Here we go. There we go. From the unfortunately, Beer can't do the. Oh, for crying out loud! Why is it doing this? Hold on, people. Let's see. Oh, for crying out loud! Okay. Do the thing with the thing. Okay, default view. Maybe that'll work. No, it doesn't work. 1 second here, people. For crying out loud, I should have done this beforehand. This is why Bear doesn't do a professional show. All right, let me. There we go. There we go. Now we can finally see it. Let's see if where's my mouse at? There it is. Let's see if the theater mode will do it. Oh, there we go. Hey, yes, indeed. And the title here from Reuters. Is it Reuters or Reuters? I'm not sure. 3D printed steaks are coming to Europe. Yes, indeed. So let's check this out. Some 3D printed meat. Hopefully, one of these days they'll be able to do it with salmon. That would be nice. Bear just sets up a 3D printer in the cave here and just prints out salmon right into his mouth. Yeah, that would be good. Yes, indeed. Hey, let's see. Like Bear can hear it, but I don't know. I don't think it's coming through the YouTube out there. But there you go. You get to print. You print your meat out there. I'm sure it's delicious. Oh boy, I bet you it's still 3D printed meat. Ah, the taste. Mwah, it's got to be terrific out there, people. Yes, indeed. Oh, where does 3D printed meat come from? From the printer. There you go. He's saying that he can pick his marbling there to make it more marbling. There you go. Without the fat there. Oh, there you go. And then you can get your meat right there. Just imagine one of these days where you're at the butcher and instead of, with a big meat cleaver or something like that, he just prints it out. There you go. I'm sure it would taste, slightly better than maybe crickets out there or something like that. But there you go. There is the future out. I should, hold on. Let me get the link here. Here we go. And where am I? 3D printed cows. Yes, 99% fat. There we go. There's the. Don't watch it now, people. Just save it. Just save it for later there. Anyways, I thought that was kind of. I forgot to put that in last time there. I tell you what, Bear misses all sorts of stuff. All sorts here. But anyways, there we are. Just fat. Just fat. There you go. Oh, he's got one of those little green eggs. I wouldn't waste my time with 3D printed meat on a little egg there, but there you go. There you go. There is your 3D printed meat. Yes, indeed. All right, enough of that. I don't want to ruin anybody's. Don't want to ruin anybody's meal out there. So we can get back off of that. Where are we? Where are we, people? I don't know. There we are. Yes, indeed. So, anyways, kind of interesting. Go check that out when you have time. But right now, people, we've actually got some news coming up here. Yes, indeed, including some great stuff. We've kind of been on this kick out here with Warner Discovery, the Discovery Network. They ended up buying Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers. Let's see, they were AOL Time Warner for a while. Then they were bought out. No, excuse me. Then they got spun off to become just Warner Brothers, and then they were bought out by AT&T for some reason. And then they were bought out again by a Discovery Network out there. So now we have Warner Brothers Discovery here. Take a long time to explain all that, but there you go. From Deadline out here in Jill Goldsmith, Warner Brothers Discovery will take up to $4.3 billion, people. That's crazy. In restructuring charges from merger. I hate to do numbers for everybody. We've got the point here. We'll get to that in just a second here. But Warner Brothers Discovery will take a hit of between $1.3 and $1.6 billion in pre-tax restructuring charges for the third quarter ending in September. Basically, that just means that they lost a whole heck of a lot of money. Unfortunately, Amy is now hungry from the 3D printed meat there, so watch out. You gotta go over to Europe to get it. Unless maybe you can buy one of those machines, so I keep an eye out for that. The company said in an SEC filing Monday that it plans to complete its restructuring initiatives by the end of 2024, with the total charges coming in between $3.2 billion and $4.3 billion. That includes strategic content programming assessments, quote unquote, we're cutting a bunch of stuff and laying off a bunch of people, leading to content and development write offs of approximately between $2 billion and $2.5 billion. Holy moly! The charges, which also include organizing, restructuring, facility consolidation activities, and other contract termination costs. I love that turn of phrase there. Contract termination cost. No, you're fired. You're fired. Much like Elon Musk going through Twitter HQ, you're fired. You're fired. You're fired. Is part of the merged company's plan to achieve the significant $3 billion cost synergies it promised Wall Street. Good luck. Good luck with that one. The company took a $1 billion restructuring hit in the second quarter, so that's in addition to what they just did, including more than $800 million in content and development as it started a global strategic review of content following the deal. And then include $496 million for quote content impairment and $329 million for content development write downs. By the way, just as an example, if Beer remembers correctly, the horrible, terrible The Batman movie, I think was right around 350 million. It was one of the most expensive movies ever made. They kept having to do reshoots, and oh, it's just a mess. That whole production was a mess. So basically, holy cow, they had to write down basically the equivalent of one The Batman movie out there just for quote content impairment out there. WBD, as they call it, also noted a $208 million for employee terminations for the first 3 months ending on June, as it moved to integrate all the media and establish an effective cost structure. He's eating a sausage there. My Arnold impression there. He has a sausage in his mouth. Ooh, it might be faster to go to McDonald's than Europe. Well, I bet you it'd probably taste about the same there. I don't know how 3D printed meat would taste. Maybe a little plasticky. Maybe a little plasticky. Layoffs have been rolling out across divisions. Warner Brothers Television is axing more than a quarter of its workforce. HBO and HBO Max laid off 14% in August, and cuts have targeted streaming and marketing. By the way, they're going to basically I hate the name HBO Max. That's just the stupid. It should have been named like Warner Brothers or Plus or Warner Brothers Max or something like that. They took HBO but made it the entire Warner Brothers catalog. Is very weird. So they're going to merge with the Discovery streaming. Discovery Plus, I think it's called. I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, they're gonna combine those two here probably with the next year or so. So there you go. They're laying off all those people. Series have been scrapped or canceled, including, oh, poor Samantha Bee. Nearly finished HBO Max film The Batgirl was an early casualty under the Z-Man out there. In addition to content and development impairments, total write-downs include $800 million to $1 billion. Holy cow, people. In organization restructuring, including severance, basically you're firing people, retention and relocation, and $400 to $700 million in facility consolidation activities and other contract terminations. Basically, uh, uh, Discovery Networks is basically a TV um, exclusive one. So when they bought out Warner Brothers, they had Warner Brothers TV networks out there, and they says, "Well, we've got two TV studio productions things out there." So they basically got rid of the Warner. I think. Let's see, they got rid of one of them. I think was I think it was some sort of streaming service. I think another one was an animation. I think of some kind. Um, Anyways, they got rid of a bunch of just, you know, 400, $700 million. We have lying around in the couch out there. No biggie. Of the total amounts above, the company said the estimated cash expenditures from the organization restructuring facility, oh, I already read that, will be in the range of $1 to $1.5 billion. Holy cow. Holy cow, people. Let's see, CFO Gunnar Winterfeld's, what a great name, called 2022 a transition year and said that it took a full look at the combined numbers, possible only after the deal was closed, required adjustments to forecast for this year and next. And of course, the stock took a nosedive. Anyway, people, you can get it now for the low price of $13.18. That's almost at Disney levels there. Down from 24 at the merger and more than 31 at its 52-week high. So, quite a bit of a step down there. So, once again, Bear always says, you know, if you've got a couple extra bucks, you know, hey, I got 14, 15 bucks, you know, I can hold off on going to McDonald's and getting the 3D printed burger out there. That just gets you one stock of Warner Brothers Discovery. And that way, if you ever want to just complain about Warner Brothers, then you go one of their stockholder meetings and say, hey, yo, I'm a stockholder. I bought it at 13 bucks. It's probably worth $8 now, but I bought it at 13 bucks. I gotta have my say here. Gotta have my say here. Which would include, people, which would include, once again, with from Deadline here. I tell you what, people, this is going to be a little rough here for Beer. How James Gunn and Peter Safran landed top spots at DC Studios. I don't know. Should I do the preamble first here? Should Bear do the preamble first of Mr. Gunn here? I know everybody likes James Gunn, and it's like there's some stuff out there. You know, I don't want to dash anybody's dreams or anything like that, but yeah, the guy is he's rotten to the core, people. Rotten to the core, much like an apple. We'll hold off on some of James Gunn's tweets here for just a second. Finally, people. Oh, by the way, let's see. Anthony D'Alessandro. By the way, I never got to mention. Bear often checks out Deadline. Kind of a. It wasn't at first. Deadline was a very interesting site. It was set up by a lady called Nikki Fink. Did a really great job very early on. Let's see, who was it? Hollywood Reporter and let's see, THR and who was the other one? Variety out there. They were mainly trade publications. They came, you know, in the mail. They came as a magazine or as a newspaper out there. Deadline was one of the first that actually went to the internet and started to do stuff that way. Anyways, long story short, they got bought out, unfortunately. Kind of the new scrappy kids on the block there, they ended up getting bought out. Let's see, whatever company, they own all three of them now, so Deadline's just part of all that. Anyways, Nikki Fink just passed away the other day, and Beer was very sad to see that. Great lady. Unfortunately, she sold it, and Deadline's went downhill from there, but still, they've got some good information out there. And they do have a lot of inside stuff. Mainly, it's just what the studios or some of the networks out there, what they want people to see, what they're trying to promote out there. You know, instead of releasing a press release or something like that, they'll go to Deadline or one of the other places here. Let's see. Finally, a Warner Brothers Discovery boss, the Z-Man, has a new head of DC Studios, and it's not one but two. That would be James Gunn and DC Films producer Peter Safran. Safran. Whatever, Peter out there. Both will have the new titles of co-chairman and chief executive officers of DC Studios. Let's see. The DC Studios will be kind of the best way to describe it is kind of the Marvel Studios in comparison to Disney. So kind of Disney is the overall umbrella. And then underneath that, you have, you got your Pixar, you got your Lucasfilm out there, you got your Disney animation, you've got your Marvel out there. So kind of similar to that. Overseeing the overall creative direction, rather, of the DC universe across film, TV, and animation under a single banner. The duo will report to the Z-Man, but will also be in close correspondence with Warner Films group co-chairs and CEOs Mike DeLuca and Pam Abdi. By the way, all these people were promoted, and the people that were at Warner Brothers, basically everybody that was at the Warner Brothers before Discovery bought them out, are all gone. We talked about Mr. Hamda the other day, so they got rid of Mr. Hamda and now brought in one great person and one. Let's see. On such matters as marketing, distribution, and capital spend. Well, according to the previous article, you're not going to have a whole lot of capital spent. We'll talk about that in just a moment here. Just so everyone is on the same page, and Gunn and Saffron start effectively November 1st. We need to have gun control out there. We need to have gun control. Oh, what happened here? A buzz was intense that Saffron was going to get the job last week in the wake of former DC presidents Walter Hamda departing the studio. We talked about that. Then insiders told us that wasn't true. There's insiders. The first look deal for the Saffron Company, is it Saffron? Whatever. Saffron Company announced last week. I'm assuming it's like the spice in there. It's like, oh, some saffron. Was just a rehab. One of these days, professional show. It turns out that Saffron didn't want to run DC alone unless there was a fall guy. I mean, creative face out there. That being his Peacemaker and Suicide Squad partner, James Gunn out there. 3D printed meat salmon, says Marco. Drive safe, Mark. Keep your eye on the road, sir. We don't want you to hit any bears out there. Apparently, the pair became even more serious contenders for the job as they were advising the Z-Man on candidates. Oh, that's nice. The Dick Cheney method of getting the job. You're supposed to be there to pick the person for the job, and oh look, all of a sudden you're the man. Oh wow, look at there. One of those previously being Warner Brothers veteran and Lego movie producer Dan Land. We actually let's see, Bear, I think he had a video. Let's see, did I have one out or it was ready to go or something like that? And then they came out and, I mean, literally within a day, he was like, he was in and then he was out. It's like, that was quick. That was quick. Bear was like, oh man, I had this great thought and then he was out there. Oh well. In his new role, Gunn is exclusive to Warner Brothers Discovery. No more Marvel, though he will be doing the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 when it comes out on May 5th of 2023. I hope that's not one of the ones that they delayed. There's also a Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special hitting Disney Plus. The motto the Z-Man and DeLuca were eyeing here in gun saffron. That sounds like a spice out there. What would you like in your Indian noodles out there? Oh, some gun saffron, please. The new DC label was one akin to Disney's Pixar, where there is a creative and a business face. Or a fall guy, one or the other. I'm going to say a fall guy. Meanwhile, the Saffron Company. I don't know if that's his name, but I'm going to say the Saffron Company will continue to be run by its president of production, blah, 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 blah. They have several projects in there, yada, yada, yada. John Cena, God, why do they just send him to China for crying out loud? Just put him in a plane and send him to China. Let him cry over there. John Cena, you low rent rock out there. I tell you. Amy asked, is the 3D meat a bug protein? I know they were working on cultivating animal protein. I need to go back and listen to I think it's just uh, essentially like proteins that they kind of squirt through the little nozzle there, and then it kind of makes I bet you it's colored as well. So they have the red for the meat, white for the fat, and everything. So Yeah, I think that's how they do that, but it's just weird seeing a piece of meat being printed out. Very weird. Lego Movie was decent. There you go. Amy bringing in her thoughts on the Lego Movie out there. Yeah, he was supposed to. This was the Dan Lin. Yeah, he was supposed to. He was in the running. They were actually, I think there were some rumors that he had it, and then basically he got dropped. I think it had something to do with, he already had some stuff with, um, let's see, I'm trying to remember if Lego came out through Warner Brothers or not. I think he had some other deals with another company up there, so that's probably why he didn't do that. Oh, well, here we go. That would be why Bear tries to read instead of just pontificating. Oh, while Lin was a serious candidate, we hear he asked the Z-Man for too much. Some insiders say that untangling Lin, there we go, from his deal at Universal, which had a financing component, was hard, but others say it wasn't that complicated. Talk suddenly just fell apart. Yes, indeed. Uh, let's see, does it already say it? I think he already was doing something with, he was basically bad mouthing the Snyderverse out there, so that might have had a little bit to do with it as well. All right. They'll work closely with all these people there. The Z-Man is still looking for a new head of Warner Brothers Animation. The third feature bucket alongside Warner Brothers Motion Pictures and DC that he outlined. So there you go. When talking about the new conglomerate out there. So they're going to have a Warner Brothers Animation, the film side of things, and then, of course, the superhero side of things. I mean, they're both films out there, but DC again, kind of like Marvel MCU out there, as opposed to some of the other stuff that Disney produced out there. Development insiders at the studio are excited. I wouldn't be at all. It's very hard for Bear not to share some of these tweets here. The prospects of gearing up a writer's room under Gunn is a luring prospect for talent and scribe. Mr. Gunn is a very talented writer out there, very talented script writer out there. Not taking anything away from that at all. Not taking anything away from that at all, but very terrible choice here. In their new roles, Gunn and Saffron. That would make a very cool 1970s like buddy cop, TV show. Gunn and Saffron. Gunn and Saffron. You'd have the chief out there. Dang it, Gunn. Dang it, Saffron. The chief's all up my butt about whatever. you know, you're 3 days away from being fired here. Blah blah blah. Gunn and Saffron. Cha cha cha. I think that would make a good buddy cop thing. I don't know where Bear was going with that. Will Spearhead. Sometimes we go off on track here. Let's see. Gunn and Saffron will spearhead the development and execution of a long-term plan for the many properties licensed from DC Comics, focused on continuing the tradition of DC storytelling across all mediums, while building a sustainable growth business out of the franchise. Now, here's the interesting part here. Saffron has been a linchpin for Warner's New Line theatrical, building between The Conjuring, the biggest horror franchise ever at $2 billion worldwide, or to make a comparison, um, just a drop in the bucket of the write-downs that they're going to have to make over there. That's all right. The shepherding of DC's highest-grossing movie ever. Really? DC's highest-grossing movie ever is Aquaman? Really? Even over the 89 Batman? Really? Wow. Or even some of the newer Batmans. Huh. Aquaman. Who would have thought? $1.1 billion. Was Aquaman even that good? Bear hasn't even seen Aquaman. The one redheaded lady, what's her name? She was in the trials and all that sorts of stuff. I was like, I don't know, the hair in there is just very weird. Very weird. Bear just picks on the minutest little details there. As well as Shazam. He produced Shazam. And Gunn's The Suicide Squad and HBO Max's live action series, The Peacemaker out there. Once again, send John Cena to China. Also on the horizon from Saffron's DC is Shazam, Gods of Fury of the Gods, rather, on March 17th, I'm assuming, of next year. A Blue Beetle, due August 18th. And Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom on Christmas of... Man, they keep pushing that back. 2023 there. Not produced by Saffron, but definitely DC, is the Ezra Miller starring Flash set for... They're still going through with that, people. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why. But they are. They're determined to go with the Flash there. Well, maybe that makes a little bit more sense there with Mr. Gunn there. Grinding up these crickets to make bear some salmon. Keep your eyes on the road, Marco Anthony. DC has among the most entertaining, powerful, and iconic characters in the world, and I'm thrilled to have the singular and complementary talents of James and Peter joining our world-class team and overseeing the creative direction of the storied DC universe. The Z-Man says, their decades of experience in filmmaking, close ties to the creative community, and proven track record. Well, okay. Thrilling superhero fans around the globe make them uniquely qualified? Okay, to develop a long-term strategy across film, TV, and animation, and to take this iconic franchise to the next level of creative storytelling. Well, once again, let's go back to what they were talking about here. So, the gentleman here, Mr. Saffron here, what are they talking about? Conjuring, that sort of stuff. So his big thing is horror, right? Horror movies. Okay, that's kind of what the Z-Man was talking about with his proven track record and all that sort of stuff. So, let's see, Mr. Saffron, big horror. Okay, Mr. Gunn out there before he got into uh, uh, Guardians of the Galaxy. And gosh, what did he do before that? It was I think he wrote the, was it Dawn of the Dead? With Zack Snyder there. I think he did the Dawn of the Dead and one of the Scooby Doo movies. I think somewhere around there. Anyways, before all that, James Gunn was with a group called Troma, which is kind of a very a low budget, very almost no budget, very guerrilla filmmaking out there. Guerrilla filmmaking of making essentially horror movies as well. And basically, what both of these have in common is horror movies are generally lower budget. Pretty cheap to make. You know, you can kind of have your cheap thrills out there. You know, a lot of jump scares and all that sort of stuff. You know, keeps people in the seats and, you know, word of mouth, that sort of deal. If you've got a good horror film, you know, you don't really need to make you know, you don't need to have a huge budget for it. Just have a lot of good scares in there, and you probably make some decent money off of it. But that kind of goes back to our, let me go back to our previous story here. Warner Brothers will take up to $4.3 billion in restructuring charges from the merger. So, you put two people together there, James Gunn and Mr. Saffron there, both have a history of um, making movies without a whole lot of money there. Then you've got Warner Brothers writing down and not probably gonna have a whole lot of money there. So I wonder if the new DC, you know, outside of the Flash movie, I wonder if some of the production budgets are going to be a little bit lower there. Probably, you know, 50, 60, maybe $100 million range. Maybe a little bit more for like a Superman or Batman movie, but they're probably not going to spend that crazy amount of money on Aquaman or Shazam or whatever the heck Blue Beetle is. I, I'm wondering if they're going to go through here and just start cutting budgets like left and right. Again, I mean, let's see, what was it? Aquaman was $1.1 billion. They made of Aquaman $1.1 million. Well, again, Warner Brothers just this year lost 1.3 to $1.6 billion that they're writing down. They probably lost more, but that's what they're writing down there. That is your that's your that's your Aquaman movie right there. That's what it made. Poof, gone. Just set fire to it. Burn, gone. It's gone. It's nowhere in sight. So I'm wondering if maybe some of this stuff is going to be a little bit lower in production value there. Again, maybe 60, $80 million. That's again why you know, they talk about their commitment to Batman. Blah 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 blah. Harley Quinn. What? How the heck did Harley Quinn become? She's not even a superhero. Ah, forget it. Whatever. They could put Joker in there for crying out loud. Why they put Harley Quinn? Just put Joker in there. Everybody knows Joker. I guess people know Harley Quinn. I don't know. Again, they have like four different maybe Batmans out there. The Batman, the what's his name? Robert Patterson, the Robert Patterson, the Batman movie out there. $350 or somewhere right around there. Again, I wonder if they're going to cut some stuff. They might be cutting the Batman movie out there. We talked a little bit about what's his name? Matt Reeves. Matt Reeves got a contract through Warner Brothers, but it sounds like it might be part of the. Let me go back here. Part of some of the buying out. Where were that? We talked about the cost impingement and content write downs and all that other stuff. Here we go. A million for terminations and all that sort of stuff. I'm wondering if they just kind of put Matt Reeves into a contract and then just says, okay, we're not going to make the Batman movie anymore. You can have fun with anything else, but we're not going to be doing the Batman movie anymore. So again, kind of starts to point in the direction of some cost cutting there from the Z-Man out there. Maybe looking to do a little bit more of a lower cost, lower budget movies. Why do I don't think they would go that low, but why do $100 million movie when you can do like 10 $10 million films and you know four or five of them, were terrible, but the rest are really good. They make back their profit and then some. Well, you might actually make more money that way, just doing kind of shorter, smaller films that way, rather than doing the three hour, $300 million, crazy budgets for some of those films out there. So, anyways, there we go. Oh, there we go. Gunn made Scooby Doo. Scooby Doo 2. Let's see. Yeah, the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead. Let's see. There we go. Slither, Super, the Guardians of the Galaxy. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, so there is there. Oh, the Nun 2. If you missed the Nun 1, you can go see the Nun 2. Anywho. So there you go. And there you are. Oh, Black Adam. $140 million worldwide. Oh, well, let's see. 6,740. So 200 million. I don't know. Do they count domestic with worldwide or is it separate? And let's just call it $200 million. So Black Adam made enough money to cover, um, not enough to cover, not enough to cover even half of the content development write-downs there. Just put it in perspective out there for all you Greek people. Yes, indeed. Bon appetit? No way. No way. Beer does not eat crickets. Not unless he has to. Alright, let me grab something to drink. There we go. I don't know. Are they doing a D&Q tonight? I don't know if they're doing another one tonight or not there. Anyways, people were asking. They were demanding last time. We all know, beer. Well, let's figure out what the breakdown is for Warner Brothers Discovery. Blah 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 blah. We know we come for that, but you stay. You stay for the NFTs. So let's go ahead, get right on into it. People were asking about that the other time, so we had to say, oh my god, I need to get some content here. So we've got, let's see, I'm not even going to try and pronounce this gentleman there, but it's on the Substack there. It's in the description out there. Doubt it. Oh, you doubt that he's doing one. I think it's a Black and Adam DQ. Oh, well, there we go. The Rock. The Rock out there. Let's see, LCAM, locomotive thing, whatever. Anyways, it's on his Substack. Kind of interesting thing here. Last year, at the peak of the NFT craze, he purchased about a dozen high-rated NFT books on Amazon. And there you go. NFT for dummies. The NFT is for everybody, including dummies. I did this because I wanted to publish a balanced critique of NFTs. Oh, that's nice of you, sir. Beer has no balanced critique. It's all It's all funny money. I figured the most honest approach would be to get familiar with the best articulated arguments put forward by the proponents of this tech. Very interesting. Mike is in this weird relationship with NFTs. Kevin is afraid of getting striked on his channel. Why is Kevin afraid of getting striked? I'm assuming Kevin Sharp. I don't know why he would get struck. Unless he's already got like two of them already. Two of them already. That would be terrible. Where was Bear here? Let's see. I soon discovered that all the books leaned on the same central argument. A value is an inherent consequence of Scarcity. He says, my rebuttal to that was simple. It's an exception, not a rule. He says, my kids' doodles are scarce, but in a gallery they wouldn't fetch much. Alas, why this made for a solid Twitter quip. It wasn't enough for an in-depth post. So he ditched the project, and he couldn't stop thinking about one of those books, NFT for Beginners by Mac Martin. At the time of his purchase, it ranked number 3 in Amazon search results and had hundreds of 5-star reviews, so it's got to be a pretty good book. At first glance, the book is simply bad, considering the following incorrect definition of a non-fungible token. Yes, indeed. Good to see Bianca here. He had a good episode the other night. Beer was checking that out. Very cool. Go check out Bianca's channel out there. Not right now, people. Not right now, but eventually. There are 3 keys to the benefits of NFTs. Fancy word for the property of being interchangeable can be defined as the quality of a state of being interchangeable. Fungibility results from 2 properties that can make good coins valuable: scarcity and divisibility. You can't have something that is extremely scarce without being valuable, and you can't have something that's divisible without it being valuable. Right, we're following along here, people, right? If a piece of art could be easily replicated, then a piece of art wouldn't be as valuable. That's why being able to sell your NFTs directly online makes them so valuable. Yes, indeed. And some recoverment. How do you recover from a loss? To help prevent additional losses when the market goes down and turns them into profits when it recovers, it's best to follow these steps. Wait for your coin token or token to go up in price by 50% or more. Wait for a minimum of 3 months to pass, and then use this opportunity to buy all of your losing currencies at once. Since you bought all these cryptocurrencies at the same time, they will be worth more than if you sold them individually. Now that you're all in with all your buy orders, wait for the market to go up again, and as soon as the price goes up by 50% or more, sell off all your cryptocurrencies at once. You should now be making a profit based on the price increase. We're following along, right? Still, that's not out of the ordinary, just another self-published work of a hopelessly misguided enthusiast, or cynical opportunist rather, perhaps unfortunately, but hardly a crime. But then I kept flipping the pages, things started to get weird. Midway through the book, the narrative seamlessly shifted from talking about NFTs to discussing NTFs, apparently an acronym for Net Price Calculator, and a part of a supply chain entity called the Strategic Development Group. The NFT for Beginners. NFT is a part of the Strategic Development Group, which offers a complete suite of supply chain solution for manufacturers and retailers. Let's take a closer look at what NTFs is and how it can help you grow your business. NTF stands for Net Price Calculator. It allows you to calculate your cost of goods sold, a markup, gross profit margin, selling price, and more based on the number of items and different purchase options available to you. This is essential information if you're looking to make financial predictions or set prices in advance. This incoherent, the author says, this incoherent babble continues for several pages, culminating in another seamless topic shift, one of these days, to the clinical trials for a chemotherapy protocol called NFP. NFT technology that was introduced in 2012 to reintroduce the need for clinical trials. We will explore some of those cases using NFTs and see how it helped them. And case 1, drug dose reduction for chemotherapy. With chemotherapy, the dose is incremental until there are unacceptable side effects of toxicity. With NFPs, rather, there are pre-calculated doses that can be administered without compromising safety on routine basis. And this leads to better outcomes for patients because they would be able to tolerate doses that they could not have been administered in Western countries using Eastern methods of measurements. The use of NFPs in the United States has risen over 100% since 2010, and now the use of NFPs is nearly 50% in the United States. We're following along here, people. Following along. My first theory, this is the author here, was that the writing must have been outsourced to a content farm where multiple individuals worked on portions of the text without caring to understand the context. But the explanation had a flaw. There's nothing you can find on the internet if you search for NFP chemotherapy or NTF strategic development group. The text didn't merely describe a garbled version of a reality, it invented its own. And then he had an epiphany. I was probably looking at the output of a ML based language model. Machine learning, as it is, such as GPT-3. The models have a remarkably good command of a variety of niche topics, but a lack of higher order critical thought. But lack a higher order of critical thought. They are prone to vivid confabulation, occasionally spewing out contradictory paragraphs, and often drift off topic, much like Bear, especially when tasked with generating longer runs of text. I did not have proof, but I'm fairly confident I stumbled upon an early example of a monetized, machine generated book. It no longer ranks highly on Amazon. It's been stripped of its hundreds of fake reviews, but I bet it served its purpose back in the day. And with GPT-3, we now have an infinitely scalable technology that is years away from being able to enrich our lives, but is already more than capable of drowning out all remnants of authentic content on the internet. And because you can leverage this to earn money or sway opinions, that outcome is probably hard to avoid. So once again, people, we have an AI writing books about NFTs. That's interesting. That's almost as interesting as 3D printed meat out there. Yes, indeed. Let's see. Amy says, if they spent $10 million on making a film, it would be really hard for them to not break even. Well, you figure 10 million and then another. Usually, the advertising costs are usually between 50 and 100% of whatever that is. So there you go. You probably $20 million after you're all done with everything, but you can recover some of that stuff back. But yeah, I mean, you kind of like gambling. Instead of betting it all on black, just space it out there on the roulette table, and you might not get it, fall on the one that you wanted to, but hey, you spread it out your risk just a little bit there, so the one that it does fall on, hopefully it takes care of all the other stuff that you lost there. So that's kind of the idea behind that. Why am I running out of water? That's terrible. Terrible. Oh gosh, better put some paint down. I have an art show opening Friday. I'll be listening. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh well, I'm not sorry about you having an art show. That's great. That's great. I'll be listening though. That's cool. Very cool. Wow, Bear is on television. I am. He is. Oh my goodness. I hope it's not from that one time. Oh my goodness. That should not be on TV. Not at all. Well, finally, people, in our NFT discussion here, this is actually a great website here. Web3 is going great here. Pretty good stuff there. You can check it out in the description there. Unstoppable Domains disables .coin extensions, illustrating an issue with the idea that, quote, you'll always own your NFT. We were talking about that the other day. Unstoppable Domains is in fact stoppable. Is in the business of selling, quote, domains. At least that's what they're calling them, but they're not the kind of domain that you can plug into your web browser. Instead, they're more like the ENS domains that you may have seen, the ones ending in .etf. ETH rather, and they typically map to a crypto wallet address. So a lot of times you'll see, gosh, I think Bianca has some on his channel. Like, if you want to donate to Bianca out there, go ahead, please do that. But you'll see that where they'll have their wallet. You'll have a whole bunch of numbers and letters and all that. So, I mean, it's probably 40 or 50 characters long or something like that. A crazy jumble of numbers and letters out there. Well, what you can do is you can take those jumbles of letters and numbers and then just say, if Bear had a wallet out there, bear.eth or something like that. And that way, it's a little bit easier for people to remember. It's kind of similar to IP addresses rather than just typing in, google.com or something like that. Monero, thank you. Thank you, Bianca. Thank you. I still need to get over and do some of the other, I forget the one that Bianca's on. It's not Rumble, is it? It's, gosh, what's that other one? I'm trying to think of the other video service there. I need to check that out. Some of the stuff that Bear's doing now is in H.265 now, so I don't know if some of those do that or not. But need to branch out. Monero over there. The organization just discovered that would be the unstoppable domains, and just discovered that they're not the first to go around selling .coin domains, represented by NFTs, and were at risk of running into what's called collisions. As a result, they decided to no longer sell those domains and stop their libraries and services from resolving them. But fear not, they've said, because, quote, unstoppable domains are self-custodied NFTs, so you still own your coin domain, but it won't work with our resolution services or integrations. That's right, folks. That's right, folks. Whatever. You'll still have your .coin NFT, it just won't resolve or otherwise be useful in any way. This is much like the argument that's been common in the crypto when describing a use case for NFTs. Quote, if it's an NFT, you'll be able to really own your World of Warcraft sword, and Blizzard won't be able to take it away from you if they arbitrarily decide to ban you or remove the item. This ignores the fact that the existence of an NFT on a blockchain does not ensure that some of the functionality rather initially advertised will continue to work in perpetuity. So it might work now, but it might not work later. It's kind of like taking one of those floppy drives and trying to stick it into your computer, into your iPhone or something like that. Yeah, there's still data on there. Yeah, you might be able to read it, but it might not work with the system that you're using now. So anyways, let's see. Where was Beer? And you might end up with a domain name or a sword that can do nothing more than sit in your crypto wallet, collecting dust, people. Odyssey, thank you. I couldn't remember it. Odyssey. Yeah, go check out Bianca over there at Odyssey. I'm gonna have to seriously consider getting over there. Unstoppable Domains has offered to credit purchasers of coin domains 3 times their purchases. That's nice. Though this will likely not be as appealing to people who held domains they hope to flip. Yeah, they were trying to flip them for much higher than the initial price out there. If I recall, I think Mike Miller had taken comicsgate.et what is it ETH out there. So I don't know if that will be able to. Don't know if that'll be able to resolve there. So hopefully he can get his money back there. Anyways, Web 3.0, great site if you want to check out. Let's see, $100 million rug pull from these folks. Attacker takes out the layer 2 DAO. Several users report losing more than $1 million in each of the 3 commas. No worries. I like this one. Warner Brothers reinvents DVD navigation menus with their Web3 Movieverse. Web3 is kind of their description of, it's a lot of things, but kind of think of like the metaverse out there, that sort of thing. So, almost 300,000 stolen from Olympus. Ow! I mean, you can just keep going down. You can just keep going down with this stuff. I mean, it keeps going on and on and on. So, there you go. Web 3.0 is going great. Is going just great. That is. There you are. All right, let me get back to it here, people. Let me get back to it. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't want to show you the James Gunn tweets. I could. There could. But it's not really a kid show, but, if a kid happens to walk by, I don't want to have any crazy stuff out there. Odyssey. Odyssey, I gotta write that down. Record players came back into style. Why not floppy disks? Well, again, we're talking about the database here on a NFT. Um, the domain place, they just says, well, they're conflicting here, so we're just going to stop doing it. Well, people that purchase that have that in, let's just say you put that up, let's just say Bianca put that up there as his Monero address or something like that, and he wanted, Bianca.eth or something like that. Well, that's not going to be able to resolve now. So you still technically, quote unquote, own it, but you can't have any use case. That's kind of Bear's problem here is NFTs are great. What are the use cases for them? And other than just some very basic stuff with video games and you can, quote unquote, own your character and that sort of stuff, there really isn't a whole lot. Now, Bear's turned around a little bit on Bitcoin. Used to be very kind of, no, 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 let's stay away from. Kind of turned around a little bit on that, especially with the Canadian truckers and some of the other stuff going on. Probably a good you go out and you buy your fire alarm, or you go out and buy your fire extinguisher, not to make money, but as a break in case of emergency type deal. You need to be able to send money from one person to another person, and you don't really care how long it takes, or what the I don't know. Do they have gas charges on Bitcoin or not? The charges that they do on there, if you're not caring about that, you need to be able to make sure that money is received from one person to another without any interference in there. Good idea, very good idea. Um, Ethereum and that sort of stuff, you're getting into some really just bad coding and all that other stuff. Ethereum, Beer wouldn't do anything with Ethereum. It's just kind of very, they just went through their, what do they call that, the merge or something like that, where their gas prices aren't that high, but still, Ethereum, a couple of the other stuff out there. Bitcoin, yes, I would say Bitcoin just as a, kind of a money underneath the mattress type situation there. Oh my God, I need, to be able to get this money out to so and so. They might be down the street, they might be across the world or something like that. Very good. I think that's very useful. I think people took that idea and then just kind of, you know, tried to like the AI writing the books. They just took this little thing and just took way too much profit off of it without really any sort of you know, they're trying to say NFPs, or it deals with cancer and stuff. The book had no value really. So, but somebody got paid off of it. So there you go. There you are. All right, but let's see. When are we at? Almost 9 o'clock. It almost is time for sports hockey out there. Sabir might check that out. Might have to check out, see if they're doing a drawn and quartered show tonight. Might just kind of keep the ear out. Oh, by the way, let me, before we go, do I have it here? Do I have it here? Maybe I can pull it. Well, let's see. Where did I have that? Where did I have that? 1 second here, people. Quick announcement here because here we go. Let's see if this will bring it up here. Let's see, get rid of that. Get rid of that. Do the thing with the thing. Let's see, I can add. Let's see. Window. Window capture, blah blah blah. Let's see if it shows. Where would it be? What would it be named? Anyways, I got in the other day. The alternate comics. I think I was showing that the last time. So I've got the video. Let's see, that's not it. Here we go. Here we go. Let's see, there it is. I'm gonna scale it here for you good people. But hopefully have this video up. Hopefully Friday. I hope to have it up by Friday. Sometimes the HDR stuff just is. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. I mean, sometimes it takes a couple hours to render on YouTube. Sometimes it takes like a couple days to render on YouTube. It's really weird how HDR is just kind of a nice, brighter colors, brighter contrast out there, that sort of deal. It should bring it up here on YouTube in just a second here. But anyways, hope to have the book out here. Hope to have the video out here. Hopefully by Friday. If I can, maybe Thursday. But I'll make sure to be. Finally got the what do they call those? The comments. I guess comments that you can see on the main page. They finally were able to do that for the smaller channels out there. So I'll make sure to have that be able to say whenever we're doing that there. So, anyways, there is beer. I'm trying to open up a box. I tell you what, got tape. Beer's nemesis. There. All right. Anywho, so there's that. I don't know why it's doing it in the small screen there. Whatever. It'll work. You get the idea, people. It's a box. Beer opens it. Yada, yada, yada. You get the idea. All right. Anyways, let me get back to it because I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here for great people. Great to see the Lesters out here. I hope Marco Ferrante made it home safe. Still trying to figure out where P-Money is at. I don't know where that crazy Canadian is. And always great to see Bianca out here. Yes, indeed. And also all of our lurkers and Russian bots out there. We do appreciate you as well. Yes, indeed. Oh, and by the way, don't forget, where is it? And do the thing with the thing and the thing. Bear opens box, breaks claw. It is true. Make sure you go check out the archive. That's where we try to put some of the live shows, just in case Bear's channel gets struck for whatever reason. We've got this second channel out there. Yes, indeed. All right. Once again, great to see everyone out there. I know you've got all the time in the world, all these channels in the world. You can be doing whatever you want, but you're right here with Bear. We appreciate that very, very much. The Lesters are always happy to be here. Oh, thank you very much. Well, yes, indeed. And with that, you know what? Bear is going to head back into the woods. So until next time, people, grrr.